Hello, everyone. This is Eric from Etiquette, back for another live stream on this Sunday. I know that it's delayed by an hour, as you can see by my wet hair. I just got back from a snowboarding trip that was really fun, but just arrived home, took a shower, and here I am. If you're new here, put your name in the comments down below. Tell me where you're from, and if you've got any questions about teaching or English learning, I guess, put it in the comments below and I'll try to answer it. Yeah, and we we have BM here. Hi BM, and he says, oh, why is your live stream late? Like I said, yeah, I enjoy winter going snowboarding once or twice. I haven't done it for 2 years now, so went with a friend, had a really good time, and now I'm back. And then another question here by BM is, what is your biggest and most joyful moments this last week? Yeah, lots of good things happening. It's the end of the year for me, so I'm taking it. I'm not taking it easy. I'm finishing up my classes. I'm going to do a winter camp. But during that time, I'm also going to work on a lot of new content, especially I want to create some scripts for teaching younger learners. And I'm also going to start a new English learning channel, which is really interesting, which I enjoy. And we have Bonnie Esther. Good December morning from merry old New England, USA. Bonnie Esther, lovely to have you. And I think maybe it's a little bit better that it's an hour later. I know it's very early over there. Christine, hi from Costa Rica. Samnang from Cambodia. Yi Win from Myanmar. Yeah, guys, how are you doing? I'm doing really well. Like I basically gave you everything that has been happening recently. I've just been working hard, working on some scripts. Also, I've been looking at a lot of activities because so recently I've been posting a lot of activity videos that I went to a friend's school and I shot some activities with students, and I'm planning on doing the same thing early January. And I'm going to shoot those videos. I'm going to shoot some videos for younger learners, and also going to be working on the English learning channel. I'm going to do that, shoot a lot of videos, and then I'll go on vacation and edit everything. And this is how I edit, apparently. Hi, Zanap, I think. It's so bad. Confession, Kev. Kev has been giving me so many good ideas, especially I posted a video on the essentials and he gave some more ideas for that activity. So, Kev, thank you as always. Okay, now, confession. Last night, or rather this morning, what time bad boy Eric got home from the bars or clubs? Now, it's very interesting. I went on this snowboarding trip with a lot of people. I've been on the trip before, and there's usually a lot of foreigners there, and they like to so you snowboard during the day, and at night, everybody meets for a drink. But last night I was with my friend and we were walking around and not a lot of people out. So went back home and then I watched the Morocco game against Portugal, which ended I think around 2 a.m. and that's when I went to bed. But actually, one thing about me, it's very difficult for me to. I have difficulty falling asleep at night. So well, not difficulty falling asleep. I go to bed quite late. But before this trip, I only had 3 or 4 hours of sleep. And it's very rare for me to pass out, to fall asleep. But last night, at the end of the Morocco-Portugal game, I fell asleep, even with the lights on and my friends watching. So yeah, I guess quite late, but I slept well. Thank you, Kev. Jackie, hi friends from St. Louis. Hi, Jackie. Good to see you. Um, a family member of someone we know. It's good to see you, Jackie. Olga from Peru. Hi, Olga. My aunt's name's Olga, and she actually sent me a message during the week. I hope she's doing well, as are you, Olga. Muhammad from Dubai. Hi. Did you sustain any new injuries? You guys know me way too well. I always pick up some kind of injury. And with snowboarding, I'm not the best snowboarder. I guess I'm like intermediate or beginner, like late beginner and early intermediate. I had a lot of fun. The only injuries, I think I hurt my arm a little bit and one of my toes. So not too bad. Nothing is broken. So I think my parents are also happy for that. Danielle or Danier from Dubai. Wow, two people from Dubai. Soso. Oh, hi. Uh, Ayana, what a lovely name. Aya from Kyrgyzstan, excited for the live stream. Yeah, guys, if you've got any questions, put it down there and I'll be happy to talk about it. Vanina from Argentina, congratulations. Your team is through. Messi is still one of the great players in the tournament, and I think it's going to be a very interesting semi-final. I think it's against Croatia. So that'll be interesting. AWS from Algeria. So hi. First time here. Greetings from Morocco. Also, congratulations to all my Moroccan viewers out there. I think so. Morocco is going to face, who's that? France. It's an interesting thing. France and Morocco have a very interesting history, so I think a lot of people are looking forward to that one. Sawen, hi from Iraq. Happy to see you here. Thank you. Mohammed from Pakistan. Tips for creative writing. Creative writing. Actually, I have a friend, Brian Tolentino, and he has a lot of content. Let me quickly look it up. Brian Tolentino. He's got a lot of interesting prompts for writing. I'm quickly going to look at Tolentino teaching. Yeah, let me quickly get it. He's got most of his channel. He just shares a lot of great ideas for creative writing. So I'm quickly going to share his channel in the comments down below, and you guys can check him out. He's got a lot of great content on creative writing. Actually, I am planning. I've been working on some scripts on how to teach, how to prepare students for English tests like IELTS. And I'm going to break it down into the different skills. And I've got a lot of interesting ideas I'm going to share on how to prepare our students for creative writing. And if you're an English learner, you'll also find, I hope, some valuable tips and ideas on how to prepare for that. I'll probably put it out in March. What's interesting about this channel is because it's an educational channel for teachers, around December, all my views go down because, it's the holidays and, it's Christmas and New Year's. And then it only starts picking up around February and peaking around March again. So I'm creating a lot of the best videos I'll probably put out at the end of February in March. So not to say that all my content is going to be bad. I'm still going to be sharing a video every week, like I've been doing for the past 3 or 4 years. Every Tuesday, I think I release it. Ellie, hi teacher. Hi. Betty, good to see you. Hello, Eric and everyone. Greetings from Peru, Betty. Lovely to see you. Mohammed, a wonderful place for learning beautiful things for teachers. Thank you so much, Mohammed. I feel like I learn something new every day about teaching, and hopefully that continues. But something interesting, it's not about just learning things. If you're learning a language, or if you're trying to become a better teacher, or you're just trying to remember facts or information, facts is information, Eric, then it's not about learning and repetition. It's also about practicing retrieving that information. And that's what most of us struggle with. Like, you can learn a lot of quotes, you can learn a lot of information or ideas, but if you can't go back into your brain, into your memory, and you can retrieve it, it's of no use. So we should definitely practice the skill of retrieving information. So that's what I also really like about this live stream and you guys asking me questions, is because it challenges me to try and remember things that I learned a long time ago. And I think, we should, as teachers, we should be lifelong learners and constantly practice what we preach to our students. Luza ang hola, buenos dias. I think my buenos dias is still not improving, but I hope you have a lovely day. Safar from Tunisia, hi. Lulia from Romania. Sidra, hi. A primary English teacher, excellent. Renier, commiserations on the World Cup. I know it must be a sad thing, but I think Brazil played really well throughout the World Cup, so there's nothing to be ashamed of. Although I understand that it's a bit of a shock. Muasen, hi. Eric, could you recommend us a book for games for children? Well, I did create a book. Well, self-promotion. I was looking for a lot of games and activities that teachers can use without any preparation. So I wrote a book. My dad helped me with 100 activities that you can do with the students. I am going to, I think in the future, I've got a lot of new ideas that I would like to share. And also, I might create a book specifically for younger learners because I feel that that's the most challenging. Personally, I think that teaching younger learners is difficult because it's difficult for them to express themselves and they've got a lot to learn, not just growing up, but you've got to teach them how to behave. So it's a bit more difficult teaching them. Let me quickly go and find the book somewhere. I'll share it in a second. I have to go back to my previous videos and then I go in here. Give me 1 second and I can find it. Where are you? Ah, here we no, it's gone. Uh, I'll have to find it a little bit later. I'm so sorry. I'll share it. I'll find it in a little bit and I'll share it in the comments afterwards. Muasan, Muasin from Morocco. Hiya. Hello, teacher from Afghanistan. Unisi. Okay, got it. Rahat from Bangladesh. Steve, excellent to see you. How are you? Jackie, any tips for first grammar? For a first grammar, I hope I think it's related to grammar. Well, grammar, yeah, I think make grammar useful, make it practical for your students, give them examples, and make sure they practice it often. So if you're teaching whatever grammar you're teaching your students, you're going to want to practice it throughout. So let's say you teach students some type of grammar on the first week on a Monday. Then let's say a couple of weeks later, you want to revisit and make sure that they can use it well, because that by continuously practicing the grammar with your students is also very important for them to remember it. Okay, here we go. Eric's English exam. Kev, thank you so much for asking me these questions. And I never cheat. I never look up the answers on Google. The two scissors are on the table. The pair of scissors is on the table. So the two scissors are on the table. You can also say the pair of scissors are on the table. The pair of scissors are on the table. Well, you say the scissors are on the table because two scissors, and the pair of scissors, because it's a pair, I'm going to say the pair of scissors are. I'm going to say both are. The two scissors are on the table. The pair of scissors are on the table. That second one is tricky, Kev. The pair of scissors. Because it's two, it's probably a pair. So I'm going to say RR. Am I wrong? What do you guys think? Please don't shame me too much, but I think a little bit of shaming is necessary to keep my ego in check. So thank you so much, Kev. Muasen, yeah, can't wait. That's going to be a great one. I have to see you when it's coming out. Antonio, hi, good morning from El Salvador. It's a wonderful pleasure. What a nice greeting. Thank you, Antonio. Nguyen, good evening from Vietnam. Zor, any tips for body language while teaching? Well, one of the very first videos I made on this channel is all about body language, and I've got to reshoot it because I've got a lot of ideas on body language. It's evolved over time, but I think the main principle being that as the teacher, as the leader in classroom, you as a teacher also have to exhibit a leadership body language, the body language that leaders would have, because students need to trust you, and also you want to maintain discipline in your classroom. So you've got to have the presence of someone that maintains discipline. The first thing I would say is this is more of a mental thing, but if you can broaden your shoulders, stand up straight, take up space, do not be afraid to smile and look at your students. Eye contact is important. You don't have to threaten them and look at them like this, but you've got to maintain eye contact so that they say that you are a confident person and you should be in the classroom. You should also move around the class. What I like to do is when I start my class, I always stand in front of all my students and stand up straight, and I wait for them to look at me before I start my class, because if you respect someone when they're speaking, you're going to be looking at them, and you want that from your students. So you start off, you smile, because I think when you smile, it also shows that you're confident this is your classroom. And you also want to make it fun. You don't want your students to be bored. So get into the habit of smiling. It sends positive feelings to your students. So yeah, body language, stand up straight, eye contact, I guess, take up space. What I also like to do is don't be afraid to get close to your students. What I mean by that is you don't want to be towering over them. So when I work with my students, if they ask me a question and they're sitting down, I like to go eye level with them so that they know that they can be comfortable with me sharing information. As teachers, we have to learn a lot of knowledge. We need to learn a lot of skills, but we also need to learn how to work with people. So we've got to start looking, we have to start looking at our own body language before we can start understanding how groups of students and individuals also work. But I think it's important for me to write down these things. I'll also do research, and then I'll create a new video on body language, maybe for next year. Vanina, yeah, looking forward to the match next Tuesday. Okay, nice. Nabina, hi. It's been so good, waking up in the morning, because most of the games here in Korea are at midnight and at 4 a.m. So I always miss the 4 a.m. But during the week, they've had those penalty shootouts. So I would be awake. I would think, okay, well, I'll just watch a little bit of the game. And then the games are so interesting. So I watch the whole game. And then there's the extra time for another 30 minutes. And then the penalty shootouts. And then I go to bed at 3 a.m. So yeah, it's been tough. But I also love waking up the next day and quickly checking what happened in the games. Like this morning, I woke up and I checked what happened with France and England, and then watched the highlights. Very interesting. Carmen, hello, everyone. Greetings from Lima. Hi, Carmen. Lovely to see you. I do really love your videos because I've learned a lot. Thank you so much. You know what? I always go through my catalog of videos, and I feel humbled because I feel like there's so much more I should cover and improvements that need to be made. So I'm truly humbled and grateful to everyone being and watching my videos and also supporting me. So thank you so much to everyone out there. And I've got a lot of plans for the future, and I want to remake videos and make videos on topics I haven't covered yet. So hopefully I can do you justice. That's what I truly want from the bottom of my heart. Bonnie is the creative writing. Be sure to develop a lot of vocabulary, sensory adjectives, etc. beforehand. Yeah, vocabulary is so important when doing creative writing. I also think what's very important is practicing transitions for during creative writing, having a structure to your writing, and also practicing. The students should understand that each paragraph should have its own idea, and then you want to move on to the next idea by using transitions. So if they can structure their writing first, and then they've got a clearer idea of what they need to write, and also try to get your students to get into the habit of writing drafts. So the first time you write, it's not going to be perfect, but you want to get through writing the first time. It's very difficult with anything we do, anything creative. We kind of fear, what should we say? And instead of, if we tell our students, listen, don't worry about what you want to say, just get started to get into that flow state. So whatever you do, structure your writing. And then once you've got an idea of what you want to say, just start writing. Don't worry about the best words or the best way to say things. So just finish that first draft. And now that you've got that first draft, it takes a lot of pressure off of you so that you can go through it again and then improve it. And I think that's way better than trying to write the perfect sentence each time. So yeah, I think that's something we can do too. Hiya, Fatih, hello. Muhammad, can you please, subjective. Mohammed, I'm not going to get into specific grammar points. My brain is not switched on for that, but I'm going to start the English learning channel. So during this during this vacation, during December and January, I'm going to be writing. I think I'm going to create 24 lessons. And out of those 24 lessons, I'll cover different topics and different important grammar points, how to teach it, activities on how to teach it. I'll also share resources. And I'm going to break those videos down, the grammar and how to teach the grammar I'll put on this channel, and then the grammar itself and examples I'll put on the English learning channel. Two birds, one stone, or two channels, one video. Well, two videos, well, something like that. Dalston, yeah, very true. So, how to mix Spanish learners with English, because we need to consider important strategies for good methods that help these students learn in a good manner. Very good, Antonio. I think, being conscious of the fact that we need to be mindful of how to teach our students. Now, you can say Spanish learners, you can say Korean English learners, you can say Portuguese English learners, Chinese English learners. I think they're most importantly, they're second language speakers. So you've got to think of how can you get your students to learn English without them defaulting to their native language first. So you want to have activities in class where the students can use English, and you also want to create the environment where the students are motivated to use as much English as possible, and also for you as the teacher to help and correct them when necessary. And that's very important. So what I would say is plan out exactly what you think their weaknesses are or what they need to work on, what's important, teach it to them, and also make sure that they practice it in English. And I think motivation is also very important. For example, this trip I went on with my friend, he's never snowboarded before. So I kind of took him through it, and it's so frustrating not getting it right. So for him, with snowboarding, you want to get your balance right, but it's very difficult because you're using your muscles in new ways, and it's so difficult even standing up on the board. So whenever he did something well, I would encourage him and praise him and tell him, oh, you did such a good job, let's do a little bit more. So or let's and then he's like, no, I'm done. And I'm like, well, let's just go a couple more meters, let's go 10 meters more, then we can rest. And I would say, like, you go up on the slope and he says, Eric, I've only got one more in me. And then I say, well, okay, so one more is your maximum that you can do. How good would you feel if you can do just one more time? So do it twice. And I think, when we're teaching our students, we should be motivating them all the time and giving them encouragement and praise so that they improve their language. I know this is a bit off topic of what you asked, but I just wanted to mention that too. Wasn't practice makes perfect? 100%. Aisha, hi from KSA. I'm a teacher and this is my first year. I'm really suffering. I don't know how you are teaching so many years. I will never teach next year. Aisha, that's so sad. Listen, I know how difficult it can be for teachers because I've taught in some difficult schools, and I've had some challenging times with students, with the hours teaching, with the material. It's difficult. There's so many so many obstacles for teachers to overcome. And I really want to say from the bottom of my heart that I feel for you. I know it must be difficult, but you can do this. You will become a better person. You will become stronger. You will learn new ways to teach, and you will become a better person. Yes, I'm going to say that. You're going to become a stronger, more resilient person by teaching. Now, for some people, teaching isn't what they're supposed to do. But I feel like most people, when you do get into teaching, there's a reason for it. There's a reason why you decided on teaching. And you should try and continue. Don't get discouraged. Just understand this is your first year. There are millions and millions of teachers that have gone through what you've been, have gone through what you're going through right now. And you can improve and things will get better. Last night, like I said, last night I met a lovely couple, and the both teachers teaching here in South Korea at an English academy, and um, uh, the lady said, she said, Eric, I have a lot of anxiety when I teach. And automatically, I thought, okay, well, it must be the students, it must be the work environment. And so I gave her some tips that I usually give. And I didn't ask her, I didn't ask her any more questions. I just started giving some tips. And then she said, no, actually, I'm just very anxious being in front of people or being in front of my students. And and then, I realized that I should be asking more questions, and I think you should be doing the same too. If you say that you're having a tough time, can you break down what it is? Is it the school environment? Is it the students? Is it the workload? Is it the amount of hours that you're teaching? Is it because you feel that you're not equipped? And if you're not equipped, what can solve that problem? Now, when you identify what your fear is, when you identify what the problem is, now you can understand, now you can find strategies on how to solve it. So Aisha, I want to ask you, start thinking deeply about what is so difficult. Why are you suffering? And then write down all these things so that you can see the monster or monsters that is giving you so much trouble. And then once you've written down these things, I want you to clearly think, and you can speak to other teachers too. You can speak to friends and family. You can do research and see, okay, well, how can I solve these problems? Because the answers are out there, and I truly believe that you can do it. So, yeah, Aisha, I'm sorry you feel that way, but I think, if you try, you can solve it. And your students will also be luckier to have you in their lives. So yeah, I just want to say that. Luzang, next February, we'll be starting with a new group of adults, workers of one of the city clubs. Can you recommend a good test to get their English level? Luzang, actually, I have seen a few tests. There are some tests online. Send me a message on Facebook. I need to go and look for it now. Liesel actually sent it to me, and I looked at it. So that's an online way to test them. I haven't done much testing myself. The testing I usually do is because it's quite broad, because I've got beginner students, and it's just to see where they are, what difficulties they have. I like to have conversations with my students and ask them questions, very simple questions, and then build that up, and you can kind of gauge where they are. I think the easiest way is having conversations with them. But if you have a large group of students, maybe you can have some tests that you can print out for them and they can answer, and you can get an idea of where they are. With adults, they know themselves maybe better than they obviously know themselves better than you. But with adults, you can, and if it's a small group, or you can maybe do a survey. You can ask your students, what do they have difficulties with? What are their major issues or stumbling blocks? And then, and what would they like to be learning? So find that out, either with a test or with interviews, and then you can also prepare for them. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Amina, hi. How can I teach adult learners with fun? Make it practical, make it interesting, make it about your students. So get them to involve their lives. The beauty, I've said it before, the beauty of teaching adults is because they've got so much experience and stories to share. Stories. Get them to share stories from. Ooh, this just fell down. I just hit it. I got very excited. Anyway, so you should get your students to share stories of their lives, and you should do that with every lesson. So if you have a topic, let's say it's travel or it's work, or if it's anything, get them to share their stories with class. And the more they share, the more involved they will feel, and the more you can teach them. And also, when they share their stories, then you can also see, well, what can you work on, and what can they talk about more? Because why do we learn a language? It's to communicate. And what do we communicate? We communicate our needs, desires, and our thoughts and our feelings. So that is what you want to focus on, not only with your adults, but with your other students too. Fatih from Algeria. Manai, hello. Hummels from Guatemala, hello. Lele from Myanmar. Dalston, are you? Yes, I am. I from Somalia, Abukar. Students here don't like to speak English during the lesson all the time. Yeah, so in most English classes, you want to be speaking English most of the time, but it is difficult because the students just naturally want to switch to their native language. In my classes, I make my students understand that, they can use a little bit of Korean, but they have to present. Some of them will have to present in front of class, and so when they do activities with a partner or in groups, they will have to use English because they have to do it in front of class. And because so in your lessons, you want to make sure that whatever they're doing, they will have to repeat it at some point. So it's important for them to practice it during the activity. Otherwise, if they don't have that good pressure on them, they'll feel like, oh, I'm just going to switch to I'm just going to switch to Spanish, I guess. So make sure that after activities that you take feedback from the students, and then some of them have to actually do it in front of class. Maybe not all of them. Have a fun game or way to pick some of the students. Marcin, Neymar has done his best. Yeah, I'm very impressed with Neymar. He did really well. Samira, hi. Al Musaid D, hi. From Morocco. Grandmother. Okay. What was that again? For first grandmother. Wow. Just enjoy time. I think the great thing about being a grandparent is that you can enjoy your grandchildren, and you don't have to go through the difficult process of scolding them, or raising them. You can just have the good experiences. So make sure that kids and their grandparents have a lot of quality time together. I think that's the most important thing. So make sure that they've got activities to do together, even if it's something like knitting or going to a water park, going to a park. I think that those experiences are what's important. And I think that's true for life too. It's not, if you have money, don't spend money on things, spend money on experiences and on other people, and you'll be way happier. And I think that's kind of why I why I went snowboarding. It's because I do a lot of things, but some of these special activities and are great for building memories. So do that, and also take a lot of photos of them together. I think that's very special. Dalston, are you still in Dago? I was surprised to hear you were in the same town as me in the past. Always looking for new foreigner friends. Dalston, excellent. Yeah, I'm still in Daegu. Where are you? Yeah, I'm in Daegu. That's a city in South Korea. And because I'm outside of the city, I've got a few close friends and professors that I hang out with, but I don't really know the foreign crowd very well in Daegu. But I should make an effort to meet more foreigners. Muhammad, why non-native teachers are not given opportunities to teach in schools? Only natives preferred. What's this? Well, it's definitely a bias. It's because, a lot of people think, well, what can I learn from someone that's not native? I want someone to be able to fix all my mistakes. So it is a bias. I don't think it's correct. And I know that most teachers believe that if you learn a skill, if you learn a skill, it doesn't matter if you're a native speaker or not. You can support and help your students achieve their goals too. So no, Mohammed, I do not agree with schools not taking non-natives, but I know that a lot of parents of students and students, they've got this misconception that you can only learn to be perfect from someone that's perfect, and I don't agree with that. I believe that non-native teachers There are so many excellent teachers, and because they have to go through the difficulty of learning the language, maybe they have an added advantage actually of teaching others how they learn. So, Muhammad, I understand your plight. So difficult. Hi, Farnaz, how to keep higher secondary students engaged during lessons? Make it fun, make it engaging, and get them to present in front of class. I know I just said that, but yeah, it's very important to keep the pace in a lesson. So you want to engage them and have different activities that they do, and different sessions in a lesson. You want to break your lesson down into different parts where they do different activities. You, as the teacher, don't want to be speaking all the time. You want to explain things to them. You want to teach a little bit, and then you want to practice something, do feedback, move on to a transition to a new activity. So you have to set the pace in class, and you want to have multiple activities, and also make the activities fun, or the content that you're teaching. Constantly ask your not constantly, but ask your students a lot of questions so that they explain themselves. And also, because they are engaged during the lesson, they will also feel like, wow, I'm actually improving. And it's fun because the teacher makes me feel important and asks me for answers too. Charlene's TV, hi from the Philippines. Oh, I met a lovely Filipino lady teacher earlier. So nice. We were talking. I've been to the Philippines a few times. I really love the country. TR from Burma, Kaing. Karim, hi teacher. Muasan. Zanar from Kazakhstan. Eric, is it necessary to start lessons with warm-up activities? Let me start this answer with a drink from this clearly water. Okay, back to the question. Is it necessary? No, but there is a reason why we have warm up activities. The students come into class and you want to get their focus and their attention, and you want to get them warmed up during class. I always tell other teachers, just like with exercise, you need to warm up your muscles to work properly. And it's the same in a class. You want to get your students in, you want to either focus on the topic, or you just want them to get engaged in class. You can ask them a question to think of, you can have a fun activity. So while it is not 100% necessary, there should be some kind of lead in to your lessons. With my classes, I like to start the class off by welcoming my students and then commenting on something that's happening in the world or in their lives. Ask them a couple of questions so that they know that I care about them before I start the lesson. And they also feel comfortable because first they get more comfortable in class. They listen to you. Sorry about that. And they focus. And also, it's fun to engage them. So that's why we have the warm-up activity. So it's not necessary, but there's a reason it is used. Pair is a singular, isn't it? Probably. I knew it. Okay, thank you, Kev. You know what? My initially, I was, that's what I said. I said are and is, and then pair is singular. Pairs. Oh. Okay, I'm very embarrassed. Thank you, Kev. And okay. Everybody's everybody's on me now. Okay. I'm truly embarrassed. You can see me turning red now. Okay, I deserve that. Thank you, Kev. This is probably the worst answer I gave. Wow. Well, that happens, I come in here and my mind's all over the place, as you guys can. Okay, I wish I could turn down the lighting in here so that the red goes away. My dad's just in time for that. Vanina, yeah, hi, Dad. Vanina, so sad now. I think okay. Okay, thank you, Bonnie. I feel like I'm going to read a lot more of these. Okay, hi. Can I ask where you're from? You sound German. Well, actually, I well, I'm from South Africa, but my surname is German, so I've got that ancestry. Appreciation as well as your care. Thanks for your advice. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Lakitsa, I'm very embarrassed. Thank you, and you. So you are appreciated. Thank you. BM, do you get mad with your students when they get horrible marks? It depends. I get disappointed, just like most of you are right now of me. Okay. Um, do I get disappointed? No, do I get mad? No, I get disappointed unless we prepared well, or if I gave them work to do and I can clearly see that they didn't do it, they didn't prepare well, then I get upset. And it should be expected of you to do that. So if when I have a student and they don't perform well, if it's understandable, if they prepared well, I can never get angry at the work that they do. If they put in the work and it doesn't pay off, then I can say, okay, well, you tried your best. But if they don't try, then I get upset and I tell them that. And students will also know, they will know that they failed, they didn't do that. So you want to tell them, listen, I'm very disappointed. Why didn't you do this? You know what you were supposed to do, because that way they know that you care. It shows them that you care and that you're tough on them because you love them, as a teacher. So if they worked hard and they studied, I get a little disappointed, but I encourage them. I say, better luck next time. But if they didn't prepare and they didn't put in the work, that's what happens. Okay. Muhammad says, why do you have HD quality on your channel? I do. I've been using the same camera for 5 years. This is a different camera that I'm using. I'm not really happy with this live cam. I would like to use a different one. So maybe in the future I will upgrade. But sometimes also on YouTube you can change the settings too. What if a student behaves in a bad way? What is the strategy that we deal with them? Well, you've got to correct that behavior. So let's say you've got they're supposed to be acting a certain way in class and they misbehave. First, you're going to warn them and say, listen, I don't want you to behave this way. When they continue, then you're going to take them aside and then ask them why they are doing that, when you've got clear rules and boundaries for them to follow. And then you also want to do a follow-up where you encourage them to do the correct thing and you tell them not to do the incorrect thing. I think the mistake that many teachers make is that they don't follow up. They don't follow up with what they want their students to do. So when they do something bad, you've got to reprimand them. And you've got to tell them that is not what you want. You want them to do something else. And you can also, when they do something good, you want to praise them. You want to say, listen, guys, that was excellent. I want to see that again. So, what is the word? There's a word I wanted to say. You basically program them like computers to behave or to do the right thing. So when they do the wrong thing, you want to reinforcement. You want to use a positive reinforcement so that they do that. There was something else I wanted to say on that. One of the fun things that a lot of teachers do. So in one of my videos, I talk about a noisy class, how to quiet a noisy class. One of the teachers, they suggest what you should do is not promote the negative thing of like shouting at the students or telling them that is what I don't want. Focus on what you want them to do. So what you do is you don't say, oh, Johnny, be quiet. Jenny, sit still. You can say, oh, I'm looking for 2 good students. Oh, Ben, thank you so much for sitting down and listening. Jill, thank you for being quiet when I'm speaking and listening so attentively. Okay, so then your students can see that you're promoting positive behavior. So that is something that you should do with that. Celine, thank you so much for this great job. I'm learning a lot. I'm also learning a lot. And I'm going to cry quietly in my bed after this. because this is on YouTube on video. Now, could you please allow me to remake your videos in my native language? Tarim. Sure. If it's in your native language. One thing I dislike is I've seen some videos, some channels take my scripts and my ideas and they copy it verbatim. They copy it and they use it as if it's their own work. And you know, I want to help teachers, but I want to at least get credit for what I thought of, for the good things I do as well as the mistakes I make, I guess. But if you want to do it in your native language, you can definitely do that. By the way, guys, there's a very interesting update with YouTube. They've got a new company, a new thing that they're going to start testing out. If you don't know about this, this is very new. But YouTube is going to start putting out dubbed videos. So just like with subtitles, you can get subtitles in different languages. Now they will take whatever you're saying, the script you have, and they will use an AI voice to generate what you're saying in different languages. So in the future, I don't know how long, but I've applied to be part of the program. In the future, you might have the option of clicking and dubbing my voice with an AI voice in, I guess, the first couple of languages might be Spanish and some other languages. I don't remember, maybe French, I think. But so that is so interesting, right? Because we're going to be able to reach so many other people out there. If especially if you want to learn something. Now, a lot of my content is for English teachers, so it's great if it's in English. But a lot of, I feel like, my classroom management tips and videos for teachers, if it's dubbed, it could reach other people too. But Tarim, by all means, you can use whatever I put out. Just tell people that I made it, and because I hope it's useful. Sidra, I would need help creative writing. I hope I haven't. Thank you, Dad. Uh, look, thank you for this. How can we make our learners write? Yeah, make it fun. Make them write about their lives and give them interesting things to write about, I think. And also, what's very important is start your classes. Get your students to start writing. Okay. I've got a feeling that Kev's going to cut that part out where I make the mistake and put a short out. Oh, I'm going to cry. Hi from Cambodia. I knew there was something in there. Demon Tool. Wow. Thank you for your work. Thank you so much. Why many teachers on YouTube hate teaching grammar because they make mistakes. It's also, you get lots of difficult questions. Grammar, it is a science, but there are a lot of things about that, as you find out. If you're asked a question late at night, that you make a mistake, and then you don't want to make a mistake. But I've been waiting a long time because grammar obviously isn't my strongest suit, but because I want to be clear and I want to be create useful videos, that's why I've waited a while before starting. Before I make grammar videos, because we make a lot of mistakes too, but we want to be accurate when teaching. So that's why not many teachers teach grammar, but I do appreciate teachers that do. Tarim, could you please allow? Oh yeah, I see. Definitely, if you want to. Charlene on YouTube. Oh, Charlene, I'll check out your channel and we'll talk about it. I'm always open for collaborations. By the way, our friend Jackie, she was on the live stream a month or so ago. She asked me to join her for a special live stream, I think on Christmas. So I'm going to join her on that. And also, we are going to have that live streaming event in February. I'll still reach out to some teachers. And every day, I think in February for a week, we'll live stream. And if teachers can stream, I'll be here streaming and I'll prepare for those. Magdi, hello. Good to see you from Sudan. Hi, Ash, good to see you. It's a difficult point for your students. Definitely. And you want to get them to start writing, even if it's just, sentences at first. paragraphs and make it interesting for them. Roxana, hi from Peru. Charlene's TV, hey. You can't. BM decided. No, BM, I'll see. I'll check out her channel, and if I think if she's a teacher and it's useful, then I'll definitely consider it. Arun, hi, thank you. I feel like respected. Thank you, Arun. I think I lost a lot of respect in a very short time. So thank you for everyone for still being there. Hi, Steve. I enjoyed some of the interview streams you did a while ago, particularly their themed approach to conversation. Would you consider doing the same for some of? Definitely, I will. Themed approach to conversation. Yeah, I think in the future I'll do a bit more topical videos with the live streams where we focus on different topics, and also some for themed approach to conversation. Yeah, Steve, I'll definitely look into it. What does snowboarding mean? It's like skiing, but with snowboarding. You've got a snowboard and then you go down the slope. Okay, I'll see. English by an easy way. Yeah, it's just talk about things that are important to you and practice situations that you will be in. So lots of role playing and dialogues, I think, is very important. Antonio from El Salvador. Hi from Indonesia. Finally, guys, I booked my tickets for my winter vacation because I'm in Korea. I don't want to just stay at home during the vacation. During my vacations, I travel, and I usually just travel around Southeast Asia because it's close to me and it's cheaper for me. But I've booked my tickets for Indonesia for January 17th to February 14th, Valentine's Day. I'm going to Indonesia. I'm going to go to Bali for a week or two, and then I'm going to visit a friend in Jakarta, the capital. So if you are in Indonesia and you are at a public school somewhere and you would like me to come and say hello to the kids, I'd like to come and visit some schools, and come and say hello. So if you want me to visit your school, send me a message. I'll happily show up. Give me a coffee. I'll chat to you and chat to the kids if you want me to, just for a little bit. And I think that might be fun. So if you're interested, let me know. Activities with TPR. Actually, I did do a long video. This is, I think, a year ago with TPR activities. Let's find it. TPR. Show me that video. Okay, here we go. It's 10 physical response activities you can do in class. I'm very excited for the new activities that I'm going to make because I want to make a lot of activities for younger learners. And also, what else? And also, I'm making a lot of activities for younger learners and really fun activities. And I'll share these soon, maybe next year, early next year. Okay, where are we? Dorcas, hi from Nigeria. Teaching from moving. Yeah, I think I shared some activities, some ideas before, Dorcas. Mohammed, hi. Teacher, we need conversation. I request you to prepare. Okay. Conversational. I do a lot of, most of the activities I share is all about conversation, and it's all about activities to get your students to talk. So most of the videos on my channel with activities are geared towards those. I'll share some more in the future, but I think most of it is like that. What else? But I might make some videos specifically on conversation. On the new channel that I'm going to make, some of the videos I want to do are specifically on dialogues and conversations. So I'll do something like that on the new channel when I launch it, maybe in the future. BM, why don't you post more stuff on your Insta? Well, BM, I post a lot, over weekends. It's just I don't do a lot of interesting things, and also I think it's fun to post videos or photos on my Instagram for you guys to see, all my friends and my family. My parents love it when I post photos and videos. But I also don't want to overdo it. I don't want to make it the focus of my life, because even though I enjoy social media, I don't want it to become a job. I don't want it to become a burden. So that's why I don't post every day. Fatma, fun activities for large classes. Well, guys, one of my video that is doing the best right now is 50 activities, and I think you can use these with a lot of large classes too. Where is that video? Give me 1 second. So this is my most popular video right now. It's like 50 activities that you can use. If I can find it in 1 second. But I'm planning on creating another compilation video that is actually 100 activities. So I'm going to show a lot of activities on there. I'm going to make a large compilation video like that. So let me take this. I'm going to share it with you, and it's got a lot of activities. It's got 50 activities that you can look at. I hope it's good. Where are we? Let's continue. Charlene, okay, I'll check out your channel and I'll send you a message. Okay. Where are we? Before I fun activities. Amina, hi. From Turkey, merhaba. I ate some great. Okay, well, actually, on this trip, I actually ate kebabs. I love kebabs, Turkish food. Other foods are also amazing, but yeah, I had a really tasty kebab earlier. Mubaraka, hi from Bangladesh. Suhud, from Bangladesh too. Creative, I think I shared that before, from Ethiopia. Hi, Lina. Syria, improve students' reading skills. Okay, reading, very important. I made a good video. I don't know if it's great, but I made a good video on reading activities, and it's 50 reading activities. And I also give a lot of tips in there on teaching reading. So I'll share this one too with you. I'll put it in the comments below. Guys, if you want to see these videos that I share, you can go onto my channel, or you can just scroll through the comments. But this was a very interesting live stream. It was an hour later than usual, and I made a horrendous mistake. Thank you, Kev. I'm never going to live that down. I'm never going to live that down, but I'm grateful for the questions, even though I'm going to be crying myself to sleep. I love being a grandmother. Bonnie Esther, you must be the best grandmother. I hope I can make my mom a grandmother soon. I think she would be a great grandma too. So I need to work on that. Valeska, hi. Get a job in Korea before actually moving there. It is possible, but it's a little bit difficult, but it's definitely possible to get there. Annyeong. Okay, hi. Yeah, Yasmin, hi from Somalia. Days from Ethiopia, I guess. BM, I think it's a long question. I'm just going to finish quick. Can you give some recommendation in tests or quizzes, exercises? And I'm playing some. That's a long question, guys. I've got a minute left, so I'm just quickly going to go through. Yeah, Charlene, I'll check out your channel. Rest of your stream. Thank you, Dalston. I see you. No embarrassment, your dad out. Jackie, a lead-in lesson. I like to review the day before. Yeah. In a pocket holder near my whiteboard. Students love to answer. That's excellent. Jackie, I also think that's a great activity. And also, it starts class. The students are excited. They know what to expect, and they want to answer. That's a great idea. I love that. Reviewing is a fantastic way to start a lesson. Ikram, determination to learn English. Last video I'm going to share, I did a long video on how to motivate our learners, students' motivation. Oh, I've been sharing a lot of videos. 20 ways teachers can motivate their learners. Let me quickly and paste this. That's all I've been doing in this live stream. I've been talking about my snowboarding. I've been talking about what have I been talking about? I forgot, but I know I made a huge mistake on a pair of scissors is I said it the first time. I should have stuck to it, but something in my brain just went the other way. You know, it happens, Eric. It happens. You'll be okay. You'll live through this embarrassment. Uh, come on, that's a good way to share. Anyway, thank you, Lisa. Yeah, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a lovely week. I'm going to try and go to sleep now. Everyone, I'll see you next time.